This show features adults using adult language. Falcon!
Geekquinox.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Geekquinox on the Two Hillbillies Play channel. I am Gieto, and I have with me, as always,
Don motherfucking Bronson.
and we've got some more guys here who helped us with the last one. We got Black Moses.
What's up?
And we got Reveza.
What's happening?
And we were discussing the other comic book movies that could or would be coming out with the different companies like Fox and things like that.
Fuck Channing Tatum.
Yeah, we had that discussion. And so there's only a few left that I really know of. One is what is going to happen with Spider-Man. Is
Marvel trying to kill him off?
No, I think Spider-Man's probably too big of a property for them to do that.
Like
they're doing
like Stan Lee's like, no, Spider-Man.
I don't know.
He got his like little Spider-Man plug-in light that he has.
He's probably got plenty of whatever he wants.
Using the Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, it's kind of
Excelsior.
interesting to see what's going to happen because they rebooted Spider-Man, thought it was going to be a gold mine. They did pretty good with the first one. Second one came out, did shit. Did so bad, in fact, that they had already planned on making parts 3 and 4 and immediately, canceled the fourth one and pushed back releasing the third one.
You talking about the Tobey Maguire?
No, we're talking about the new one.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and there's been a lot going on, and with those Sony hacks and everything that came out, I mean, it shows where Marvel was trying their ass off to get Spider-Man back. They were actually going to, it seems like they were talking about putting him in the Avengers movie. But talks did break down. Nothing came of it. Sony still has Spider-Man, so I mean, I don't know. I know absolutely nothing about the next Spider-Man installment coming out, when or if it's going to happen, or that maybe they'll pick up talks again and try giving it back to Marvel. So really, I got nothing to go on other than, y'all just, if y'all want to spitball out some ideas of what you think or what you want to happen, something like that.
Well, I mean, is there a synopsis for the movie?
No, there's nothing.
So Spider-Man plays Spider-Man in Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's nothing. So it's not even really much to talk on. I mean,
I remember back in our first podcast, y'all asked me what my favorite cartoon was that I watched. And looking back at it, it was probably the 1996 to 1998 Spider-Man that came out. That one was probably by far my favorite. And probably in a general sense, Spider-Man might be my favorite.
just character of all time?
Overall character. He's not the most powerful, but just in general, everything he does, everything he did, and especially in that cartoon, man, he had me. And I was like, Spidey, I'll do whatever you say, man. I got you. And to see how, that's what I loved about the first Spider-Man reboot, or not the first Spider-Man reboot, the Amazing Spider-Man reboot.
Yeah.
I loved that Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was not too big of a fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans.
Right.
Now the first and the second Spider-Mans they did pretty good.
They did do good.
Stan Lee had dookie stains in his Spider-Man underwear after seeing that first movie. No, it wasn't that bad.
But number 3 just fucking ruined it.
It did, and it did. Yeah, it destroyed it because
and I feel like
if
they're gonna do anything Spider-Man now, I feel like they need to go ahead and they need to introduce
Venom.
No.
Venom and Carnage.
Carnage. They need to introduce Carnage.
You can't
and reintroduce Venom. Well, they need to reintroduce Venom.
Yeah.
Carnage pushes the lines of an R-rated movie by himself too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of crazy.
I mean, those characters alone make Spider-Man way more interesting.
Yeah, that character alone destroyed the franchise too because they couldn't do it correctly.
Yep.
So, and now with the second Amazing Spider-Man coming out and doing so bad.
I mean, maybe they need to do some doppelganger in there.
I mean, if they've already done that bad, can they? Do you have any confidence in them doing?
Maybe they need to do a Spider-Man doppelganger movie.
That's based on the game, though. I don't think that'll. Movie-wise, I don't know how well that'll go.
What? A fucking copy of Spider-Man, but like
that
with
Maximum
fucking 6
Carnage
arms?
thing?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was strictly for the game, I believe.
You don't think that would make a good
comics,
movie?
But I mean, anything could be good if it's done right. But
I mean, I think that's just an interesting character.
It seems like they're lost with Spider-Man because if you're in the talks of even considering getting rid of it, I guess you're tired of screwing it up. But here's the thing: Spider-Man is pretty much Sony's bread and butter. It's the only thing making their ass money.
Like they're wanting to get rid of it.
They're probably willing to, but Sony is like tanking right now. Like they've got maybe Men in Black and like the Jump Street series are their only maybe other decent money making things, and that's really why it's so hard for them to let go of Spider-Man, because even when the movies fail, they still make a shitload of money. But I think the thoughts have to be is like we keep screwing this up, So maybe I think that's why they were entertaining talks with Marvel and stuff about getting rid of it. So. And I don't think it's necessarily we just sell everything out.
I mean,
I think it's like they
Marvel.
let Marvel put them in the movies and stuff, and like Sony can handle like merchandising, things like that or something, so that everybody gets money. I mean, I don't know, but they seem everything is so.
I think as far as the directing direction, Marvel should have all of that, and then Sony's done that plenty of times. They've done like. I mean, they do it with games all the time. Like, hey, we're going to help you out with funding for the game. Our name's going to be tied to it.
Right, yeah. I mean...
They do that a lot, so...
It's possible later down the road...
It's not like beyond something that they wouldn't do anyways.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's possible that later down the road something can get worked out, but in the near future it doesn't look like it's going to happen, so it makes me wonder what are they going to do with it.
They got to go big, I think.
And here's the thing, too.
If they want it to be successful...
I don't think you can't like reboot it again. You just can't.
No.
The only real reboot is Spider-Man pops up in Marvel movies and he's a new person playing it. If they're gonna keep with their independent thing, they've got to keep what they've got going with Andrew Garfield and just not fuck up so much. It's just I don't know.
Don't make it a fucking love story, for the love of God.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Muhammad, or whoever you pray to, don't make it a fucking love story.
Well, one of Spider-Man's, central themes was his love for,
that's true.
Stacy and Mary Jane.
But not when he's out there fucking capturing bad guys and doing
Well, I mean, that's actually true. Green Goblin is, Spider-Man killed Gwen Stacy, which I love the way they did that. The Green Goblin had her on a bridge, dropped her ass, he shot the web out to catch her. And then,
I don't like anything that takes Emma Stone away from me.
that's true. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad.
Hey, she's always in our dreams, bro.
She's in a lot of people's
imagination, bathroom, whatever. She's just there. Bathroom. She's always there in some vague form.
So here's another problem I have with this. We'll move on to the next topic because there's really not much going on that one, and this is why Sony is failing. I think. They're supposed to make an Aunt May movie.
What?
Well, what? I don't understand in what world.
May?
Yes.
Is she fighting menopause? What?
I don't understand in what world this is a good idea.
She's either fighting menopause or Medicaid. Those are like the bad guys in the movie, man. Jeez. Or pneumonia.
Fuck me again. Help, Spidey. Get my pension back.
Oh, shit.
So I really, that reeks of desperation and stupidity on their part.
They're supposed to be doing it it's her base back in the 1950s, and she was like a spy for the U.S. government.
It's not even interesting. What? And was she ever a spy in the comics?
Not
Uncle Ben would never stand for that stuff, man.
No.
And
if his woman got out of line, he'd...
So even if she was in the comics, she does not portray that type of...
No. She's just
a
little old sweet
she's
lady.
Not inquisitive. She's not that type of person.
No.
So you're going to be looking at two different types of Aunt Mays. You're going to be looking at Aunt May from fucking Lex Luthor is the nice guy fucking dimension.
Yeah.
To that's what you're gonna see is like a different person.
Well, and that's
not
even
going to be.
That's the thing with people getting their own damn rights to do things with and shit, and it's just. To me, everything about it is bad idea.
Who was a motherfucker in Sony smoking crack that fucking that was a good guy?
That's Kim Jong-un after they hacked Sony. Oh, we'll make an anime movie! Oh, you, Sony! You kill me, I kill you!
Oh, Jesus.
I show you, Sony!
Oh, shit.
So, that, it's... I really got... There's nothing, and I do mean this... There is absolutely 0% good that I can say about this movie. Nothing. I don't want to see it. I don't want to do with it. I don't care what they do with it. I don't want to see it. I don't want it to be made. I think it's ridiculous.
Just desperately grasping at straws at that point.
Yes, absolutely.
I would expect them to cast Jack Black in the movie at that point. Fucking
Jack Black is
do some goofy shit and try to make it something.
Yeah, so that's two bad things Sony's got. Now, their one redeeming thing they might could do is there's talks about the Sinister Six movie.
I want to see that.
That one would be cool.
Now,
awesome.
what I'm curious is,
Scorpion.
do you do a Sinister Six like by themselves, Guardians of the Galaxy style, or do you have a Sinister Six versus Spider-Man? Like, would the next Spider-Man movie be Sinister Six?
Well, you have to. If you're talking Sinister Six, you have to have Spider-Man. In
I agree, but the way it seems like that it's in there is it's not like it's a Spider-Man movie. It's like it's its own property, like Guardians or like Suicide Squad.
Well, that's all I was thinking when it comes to mind. If you're talking about single,
yeah. So I don't know without Spider-Man there.
All right.
I see this movie failing.
But the Sinister Six purpose was to destroy Spider-Man.
that was the whole point of Sinister Six. You know, you're talking about Suicide Squad. Yes, it's these big name villains that were incarcerated for fighting, Batman and whoever else, but then they're kind of get recruited. They go off and do their own thing for the government, trying to get time knocked off.
Right.
But whereas you talk about Sinister Six, the only reason the Sinister Six is there is Doc Ock sent a message to every one of the villains Spider-Man has ever fought, and then I think the 5 that reply back is Vulcan, Mysterio, Sandman,
Kraven
the Hunter, and
No,
it's not Scorpion.
That's a later
Not Vulture.
incarnation.
It's a Vulture.
It's Doc Ock, Vulture, Mysterio, Kraven, and
Sandman.
Sand-
Rhino or Kingpin?
No.
Sure wasn't.
At any rate,
Welcome to Geekquinox.
we know everything.
We're missing one in there somewhere. Well, because there's so many incarnations of it. Trying to get the original set is a little different because it's like you said. You enjoyed the animated show. The Sinister Six in there is not the actual Sinister Six.
Where's the Sinister Six in the animated?
Oh, it was King. I think.
Well, they did that one a couple of times too.
Kingpin
But
or
no,
Sinister Six or Doc Ock got it together.
Yeah, Doc Ock got it together. It was.
Maybe Kingpin funds them.
I think so.
Well, they had different iterations of it, even in the comic. In the cartoon.
He does have the money and shit, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, but he kind of does his own thing.
I mean, at any rate, it was those guys that were there. The only reason they got together was to fight Spider-Man.
Right.
And then when they had such in the comic books, they were talking amongst themselves, and neither one of them didn't want to give up the right to kill him. They all said, "I want to get the killing shot on Spider-Man." And so instead of getting together to fight him as a team, they took turns to fight him one-on-one. And Spider-Man actually criticized him and said, look, he beat all 6 of them in a row. And said, if you guys would have fought me as a team, you'd have won. You didn't. You're stupid. Now go back to jail. I mean, that was the premise for the original Sinister Six.
Yeah. So, but the same thing, this is nowhere near, as far as I can tell, anywhere near being done, or Sony's got so much shit happening right now that...
They'd be lucky if Lizard Squad isn't the Sinister Six.
Yeah,
The Lizard Squad.
They're like one of the Sinister Six.
Oh.
They fucking hack Spider-Man's fucking little thing
web
that
shooter
shoots
thing.
the webs.
So,
They hack his cell phone.
Yeah, there you go.
And make him spend lots of money on porn and...
God. So Sony's got a lot of work on their hands. And this isn't necessarily comic book related, but if you want to tell how bad shit's going on over there, they talked about doing a Men in Black 21 Jump Street crossover thing where they're all in the same movie and shit.
What?
Yeah, so So
fucking Sony?
yeah, so many bad ideas coming out of there right now between Aunt May.
Oh, so I've never seen 21 Jump Street.
So here's a premise: Channing Tatum's gonna be getting fucked by an alien, and Tommy Lee Jones is gonna have to run in.
Jesus. So, alright, so I can get off of this, so basically...
Well, luckily about that time, Will Smith will be doing the fucking
Suicide Squad movie, yeah.
He won't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. So, it's just so much bad coming out right now. Like, we'll maybe discuss it when they got a grip on what the hell they're doing, but... Those three properties are all I know about coming out of Sony.
The Aunt May movie makes me fucking sick.
Yeah.
To my stomach.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, I know that the premise is supposed to be like she's young and she's a spy.
Right.
Only thing I can think of is that she's in a nursing home and she's trying to fight fucking leukemia or some shit.
Oh my God.
It's like,
jeez, that's a little deep, man.
It's like, come on, that's something that should be on Lifetime.
Like the
that's true. Too,
like the turning point in the movie is her walker like breaks while she's walking.
Like
one of the tennis balls falls on. She's now got to battle this sticky.
She's trying to fucking put the tennis ball back on, and it's like fucking 3 hours later.
Osteoporosis. Like Aunt May zeros.
Jesus,
I think the only.
You ever seen the fucking episode of Family Guy where the German guy fights?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's like a super intense fighting music, but they're like moving
slow mo. Yeah, like walking across with the walkers. Yeah,
Hans.
Yeah, he's fighting the Nazi. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. That's all we've got. We've pretty much covered any movie that's coming out or any rumored ones. Yeah. Hopefully these never become movies. So, moving on. This one, I'm not sure. I want to do a lot more into the comic TV series because that's blowing up too. And let me give you a rundown here just so we can see exactly how this is going. You have the Arrow TV show. You have the Flash TV show.
Good.
You have Constantine. You have
also good.
You have Gotham. You have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Not good.
Now you have Agent Carter.
Decent. It's okay.
And on April 10th of this year, Daredevil comes on to Netflix. They're also filming a Jessica Jones, who is with Luke Cage, so they're getting a Netflix show. I've heard something about Supergirl being on CBS or something, I think.
Who's playing Daredevil? Isn't that some beady-eyed has-been?
I don't know. I'd have to look and see. And then there's talks about Teen Titans getting their own TV show, too. So
that'd be cool.
That is a giant list of... I mean, it's wherever you go, it's there.
It's almost like they're taking all their animated shit and bringing it to the
big screen. Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah. So I would like to do a lot more, like get into some of these shows, so we would have more to discuss on them. I've seen the first 2 seasons of Arrow, and I've seen like 4 or 5 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I have seen nothing else of none of these things.
I've watched everything that they have of Constantine. I've watched everything that they have of Flash. I've seen all 3 seasons. Well, not all 3 seasons because they're still shooting season 3. But I've seen. Or is that right?
No. They have 3 seasons and they're shooting. They're on season 4 now.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. Well, I've seen up to the mid-season finale when
on 4
Arrow fight when Green Arrow fights Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah,
I've seen that. So.
Spoiler. Too late.
Yeah. It's fucking good.
Yeah. So, but the reason I want to get caught up on this is I would like to do a spoiler cast, basically, where we'll watch Arrow, we'll watch Flash, we'll watch Game of Thrones, any really badass TV show that's out.
I plan on watching every single one of them.
Exactly, yeah. And
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, yeah.
The mid-season finale was December, so...
So I'd like to get caught up on all these, and then like once a week, we can have a spoiler cast thing where we'll talk about each latest episode, what we think, what's going on, things like that. So as of right now, like I said, I really have nothing to bring to the table to the TV discussion. I mean, like I said, I've seen the first 2 seasons of Arrow. First season, I actually, it took me a while to get into it, but by the second season, yeah, it's a damn good show.
I think they do a good job with his backstory, like how he become a badass.
Right.
And I think it's pretty realistic to, someone in that situation. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they're shooting for, is something like a like a serious look.
Some
at
sense
how-
of believability, I suppose.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When you
They're
bring
making a very-
something like that to like, man, maybe that could happen. Like, you know, and
Yeah, I mean, when you're on a desert island and you have to fucking survive,
right.
and you were like a coddled, you know,
Yeah.
celebrity, pretty much.
There's no doubt in my mind if I was put in that situation, I'd have died like after day 2. So like, but I mean, there's
no
belief-
cookies on this island.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I would, yeah, they'd have caught me and put me in that tent. They'd be like, "Do you know that man?" I'd be like, "Yeah, man, he's in that cave right over there." Can I have some of that Sprite you got?
Yeah. So I would have done so well, but there is a level of there's something to it to where you could almost say, well, maybe that's not too
Yeah.
far fetched.
And you know, in the fact that Deathstroke wasn't like in the comics, Deathstroke wasn't on the island with him.
Yeah.
The fact that they put him on the island and made those two characters link up together,
Yeah.
I thought was badass.
Yeah.
And I think that the comic book writers could learn something from that, because I think that is a damn good fucking story arc.
Yeah.
Like, that's a damn good character arc, because Deathstroke was like deeply in love with Shadow,
Oh yeah.
and so was Oliver Queen.
Right.
Sorry, lots of
Oh yeah, you can't come on the show without spoilers.
and so the fact that, you know, they made it like in the show, they made it look like Oliver Queen had something to do with Shadow's death,
Right,
and
right.
ultimately made Deathstroke hate Oliver and wants to fucking destroy everything that is good to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking. If I was
It's
writing,
amazing.
that's a really good character arc.
It is amazing how they set up so many other storylines to come to, though. You're not gonna watch.
Yeah, you gotta watch the show now.
You know what? I listened to him discuss this show 5,000 times with 8,000 people.
Just watch it. You'll
and
still enjoy
and I
it.
still
going
watched
to.
it and enjoyed
Man,
it. Yeah,
I'm so late to the Arrow scene though, because I started watching it. I was on Netflix. People were like, "Oh, it's a good show." I started watching it. Watched the first episode. Kind of got into other stuff. So I was in the middle of Game of Thrones and everything at the time. But like, I just picked it back up, and I'm
It's
almost
good.
through with season 1. It is. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
I definitely like, you know, and I'm coming to it. I'm watching Arrow, not really even knowing anything about the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently started watching like some of the Justice League animated series.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see
Oh,
that
those
how
are BA.
see how Arrow is, and
Right.
like Arrow is just like he's there for like comedy relief and shit.
Well, he's there for.
I mean, he's a
conscience, too.
badass.
Like he's
He's
got
a-
a good heart.
he's got a
Like
good
Yeah,
heart,
he's a badass, and yeah, he's like he is a you know, he does bring the morality
Right,
to the
yeah.
scene, but
well, because
but
he's the human
he is-
factor in a group of like alien
Like,
and super
superheroes,
beings and
yeah.
stuff.
But
you know,
he is
it's
like he is a comedy relief to a certain extent. In the Arrow show, he is very serious.
Oh
he
yeah,
is fucking
absolutely. Yeah.
the Batman Dark Knight fucking
Yeah,
serious.
and that's DC's tone with so much is that really dark,
Yeah.
deep story thing that they're going for. Which
the character arc though,
we've questioned it.
Oliver Queen and Deathstroke though.
We've questioned
So
that
fucking
type of storytelling, like say comparing it to Marvel and everything, but maybe we're not giving it enough of a fair shake too to realize that, like, first of all, it works. Like if you watch Arrow, it works. It's good. But not only that, you need to be different. These two companies all throughout history have been called rip-offs, ripping each other's characters off. You know, DC comes up one, Marvel takes it. Marvel got one, DC takes it. Whatever. So
I have to say, from watching more of DC stuff, I have to say that DC has a way of making character arcs that are just fucking fantastic. Like, they really flesh out their characters. They really make them seem like more human than they are superhuman.
More flawed.
Yeah.
storytelling.
They really give them flaws.
And I think that's because DC really does most characters are very dark in their premise.
Yeah.
Batman, Superman to a large extent, you know, is just a
a
personal
lot of people
inner
with no
battle.
parents
with
Like,
in
if
that
I was-
story.
If I was to compare Marvel and DC, I would say Marvel in a Dungeons and Dragons scenario, I would say that Marvel is more of the power gamer and DC is more of the role player.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that's
a
definitely
very
how
good
I
analogy.
categorize
Yeah,
them.
that's a very good analogy, and I agree. And that's you can see it especially in the TV shows because the way Arrow and Flash are, and you compare that to the what like Marvel Agents of Shield's doing and shit. nobody gives a crap about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as
Yeah,
compared to
it's
like Arrow
kind
and
of
stuff.
like, I mean, I watched it just because I wanted to see, like,
right.
I wanted to see Samuel Jackson pop up and cameo. And, you know, I
man,
saw it.
Well, and here's a difference too, though. You're talking about regular Joe CIA security guards, basically, or something, versus a superhero kicking ass in the streets too. I mean, so that's why I'm interested for Daredevil. It's another hero, not just regular people.
Which one of the CIA agents in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is borderline superhero. That motherfucker is badass. Like, they portray him as a fucking, like, I don't know how else to describe it, but he's a fucking badass in the show. And they really make him like the light of the series.
Well, I noticed two things about that list that you said. One of them, first thing, if Marvel is dominating the movies, seems to be that DC is outright dominating
absolutely.
TV series.
And actually they generally always have. Even if you look at their animated movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Now Marvel's gotten a lot better. Like that Doctor Strange movie, like the anime, I thought it was great.
That was pretty good.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, some of the Justice League movies, all the Batman,
dude, they're so good.
Dude, the Justice League, like I know
good.
I know that the Justice League shit showed up like Saturday morning cartoons. That is a fucking adult fucking show.
It's very
like,
very
the ideals and the
serious.
things that they talk about, the tone.
Yeah,
it is for adults, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
kids are gonna watch it because it's fucking superheroes,
right?
But when you sit down and watch it as an adult, you're like, okay, you wrote this shit for me.
That's why it's so good. The storytelling is amazing on it. The artwork's great too. I was just about to say Young Justice.
Young Justice is such a I've seen it in Netflix several times, and I was like, Young Justice is gonna be a little fucking kid cartoon.
Yeah.
I watched it. The shit is legit.
Oh yeah, it's
like
one of the best.
Super fucking serious.
I'm so sad that it didn't last any longer than it did.
And you know, they show these youngsters that are superheroes, like they show like the shit that they go through being a teenager or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the shit that happens in the show is very
yeah,
this is pretty fucking.
Technical difficulties.
Marvel doesn't like us talking about DC.
I guess not. So, but anyway, like if you compare the two, like even some of Marvel shows, like what is it? Earth's Mightiest Hero, Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That to me, that was amazing. I wish the show would have kept going. I was really pissed off when they stopped it. Right? Yeah, 2 seasons.
I think they rebooted it.
They started something new, but with Disney doing it, you can tell it's more cartoony and more for the kids. Now, that's why I liked Earth's Mightiest Heroes, was because it had all more. It was. DC's just better with storytelling. That one was good, but most of Marvel shit is still catered towards kids.
Look at it like this. In Marvel Avengers of Ultron, or in the Marvel's TV series, you've got, the good guys versus the bad guys, and that's pretty much it. Mm. In the Justice League Unlimited, you've got the Justice League itself fighting over whether they should have their powerful satellite sitting up in space with the power to sit down and just blast
very
people from space.
Deep.
Absolutely.
There's got some very deep thought, some very deep conversations that be had.
So DC, their storytelling aspect of it, if they can get the people at DC, if they have that kind of control with these movies, maybe the way Marvel does with theirs. Those kind of tones and everything, I think can work, and that will definitely go in their favor. I don't know about their casting choices and things, but if you can get a good story told out of it, different things can make up for different things. So,
and even though DC is supposed to be, I don't want to say more mature or more thoughtful, but just what we just expressed, dude. As long as they have comedy in their movies, they're gonna sell. Because in the TV series and comics, when you can draw out plots and you can do things like that, you can necessarily sacrifice, comedy for deep thought. But in a 3-hour, 2.5-hour movie, you gotta bring it. You gotta bring the goldfish need their attention span to laugh.
And it's not necessarily comedy. It's just the way they do their comedy. It's like
That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta have.
It's
like,
usually
you can't
something.
just be all serious.
It's usually something like a character does something so ridiculous.
Here's a
and
good.
It seems impossible and it's funny.
Here's a good example for DC for a comedy. If you want comedy, all right. The Batman movies, Christopher Nolan's things. House comes burning and the log falls on them, and Alfred. What's the point of doing all those push-ups if you can't lift the bloody log? You know, like
that's just
but that's like the
here and there.
that's like the max of it, though. It is just a few one-liners or whatever. So I don't know. It works, I suppose.
And if you look in like historically, if you look at the Marvel like the animated stuff that they do, anytime you see Avengers, you see the Hulk is there. With everybody else, and you see Hawkeye, and the Hulk punches Hawkeye, and he flies.
Yeah.
And every time you see Hulk and Hawkeye, the Hulk punches Hawkeye, and he fucking flies away.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't happen in the movies.
Yeah. Well, he punched Thor in the Avengers, and
he punched Thor.
Well, I mean, come on.
He's always punching Hawkeye in the fucking animated
series. That's because in an animated series, Hawkeye don't have to die. In the movie, Hawkeye's fucked, and Hulk does that to him.
And Hawkeye is a smartass in the fucking animated series, too.
Yeah.
He's always, like, cracking jokes and doing shit. Hawkeye is very serious in the fucking movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Which, let's face it, we've only really seen him in one. He was in Thor, but not too much.
It's almost like even though Marvel with their movies they introduce comedy into it, it's almost like they're pulling away from their animated stuff and going more DC, like they're going more serious. Even though they have some comedy in there,
right?
Like lighthearted moments, like the Hulk swinging Loki around. It's only funny because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny because the Hulk said a fucking joke.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, there's different layers of comedy, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and the layer that they do is it's a very like something would really happen and you'd be like, it's so ridiculous that you'd have to laugh at it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think like the Martian Manhunter, you got like, well, he's not even in the movies, is he?
No, not to know.
Dude, it would be like you could do so much dry humor with him.
Not knowing anything or being around here.
I would say Aquaman saying, "Let's use the whales," but apparently not in this one.
Yeah, I think if they do it right, Aquaman will get a little more respect now.
Fuck, man. I've already seen Aquaman in Young Justice and in the Justice League. Like, I mean, you have the power of Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
You're a badass.
Yeah, it's like we said. Just imagine you
can go blow.
You can't put a boat in the bottom of the ocean. There's only so far you can go before it crumples and implodes and can't handle the pressure. And this dude swims around in it all day.
You can't put a boat in the bottom of the ocean because it capsizes anyway.
You put
I don't know.
Except some little submarine boat who gives a shit. I beat you in Battleship. Don't talk more about me.
Every time I think of Aquaman, though, I just think of him like standing like in ankle deep water trying to taunt somebody to come in so he can beat him up.
That's
all I think about. Everybody on the beach was like, "You come here." He's like, "Oh, you come here."
Right now, every time I think of Aquaman, I think of Robot Chicken jokes.
Yeah, their Family Guy. Yeah, that Family Guy thing was hilarious. She's like, "Help! I'm getting raped." He's like, "You better be lucky you're not in here." This is ridiculous. So, yeah, Aquaman catches a lot of shit. So hopefully this will do something to. You got to get his rep up.
I mean, when you command the army of Atlantis, you're a badass motherfucker.
Yep. So
if you're fighting somebody in the ocean,
that's the thing. He'll come to land and whoop your ass.
And if they have to come from Atlantis to land, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because that was a long fucking drive.
Pissed off. We ain't getting no Mickey D's all the way.
I want to see Aquaman like down like around the Horn of Africa, like fighting us Somalian pirates and stuff. Like I don't want to see him like in Gotham, like trying to beat up the Penguin. He needs to right the wrongs of that.
Have you guys played Injustice?
No.
Have you played Injustice?
No.
So in like when you're playing Injustice, like when you're playing a single player game. It makes you play certain characters, and you have to fight certain characters, and it's like a story that goes on. Well, like towards the end, fucking Arthur summons the army of Atlantis, and he's like the whole fucking army is like it's like these giant fucking crabs. They're like coming on land. They're like riding them in and
Crab people.
shit. Yeah, they're fucking badass. Like the shit that he has. Is pretty cool.
It's very I think done right, this will go a long way for him. So we'll see though. Other than that though, like I can at least say as far as some I'm excited to see. Like I'm excited to see Teen Titans if that's a real thing, if that's actually getting made, which I do believe it is. That I'm kind of stoked for.
But
Gotham.
Cyborg, is he like a main?
He was, but with them putting him in the movies, I wonder if they'll do it in the Teen Titans. I don't know.
Is that supposed to be a TV series or is it a movie?
Yeah, TV show.
TV show?
Yep. So Gotham is one. It's out now. I actually have no desire to see it whatsoever.
Dude,
I really don't.
What,
I was
Gotham?
gonna say I haven't actually seen.
I heard it was,
Yeah.
and you know what? Everybody I talk to, I hear that it's fucking good.
Really?
I heard it was okay.
I hear that Gotham is fucking good.
My thing is it's about Commissioner Gordon, correct? I mean, that's all it's about.
He's
Really?
not commissioner. He's a detective.
Or
now.
well, yeah, detective, yeah, because it'd be way back in the day.
And it's about early Commissioner Gordon and Penguin right now.
To me, it's almost like it's with the exception of the fact that Gordon can be a badass. I mean, he's been there, done that, and he's in this kind of job. But to me, it's almost like the Aunt May thing. Like you're taking a character that
No.
I said almost.
Not
Yes.
even almost.
No, almost.
No, it's like
It's a less known
It's
who
like-
gives a crap character.
no.
Who follows Gordon?
No,
Who's
you
like, I
can't
can't
look-
wait for this comic so I can see what
You
Gordon
can't
does.
look at it that way because it's like I mean, look, you got goddamn, help me out.
It's a
What kind of detective shows are out there? Like 48 or 24 or whatever the fuck it's called. Or
the 24.
24, and then you
It's
got
like all the Law and Order shit.
Law and
things or
Order.
something. That what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
it's
Yeah,
basically that type of
Are you
show.
comparing
Law and Order
Batman to
fucking
Law
Batman.
and Order?
I'm not comparing Batman to Law and Order.
But that's the point.
I'm talking
it's
about
a Batman
Gotham.
character. They're Batman bad guys. Supposedly that dude in there is the Penguin.
But this is
What the premise of this so
All-
far is it's young Penguin, right? And he's
Right.
working for this mob syndicate. Well, he ended up giving up information on this mob syndicate, so this mob tries to have him killed. Well, Gordon saves him and tells him to get out of town and never come back. You know, they think you're dead. You have to leave and never come back. Well, it's him coming back and getting in with who's the big gangster in Gotham?
Falcones or
He gets in the fight with Falcone, and it's about him rising up for the Falcone family and doing stuff for them now.
Yeah, it's just mobster fucking bad guy detective shit. I mean, why can't I compare it to fucking Law and Order and shit?
Because
I
it's
mean,
Batman characters.
No, but it is a show. It is.
There shouldn't be no Penguin.
It
in
is building up Gotham. It's called Gotham. It's talking about the city of Gotham.
I know. I
and
just
how
don't.
fucking Gotham works. It's not Batman.
But how Gotham
Batman
works
doesn't
is
even
told through
exist
all the
right now.
movies. It's to me.
Batman doesn't even
To
exist
me,
right
it's
now.
useless.
He's,
is my point.
the Wayne
it's a
family is
story
dead.
that doesn't need to be
Huh?
told.
It's also, during the show, it's covering
Yeah.
the Wayne family murders.
Yeah, I understand he's dead, but he's still a kid.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Gotham City
I know what it
And
is.
how it
I just
operates.
don't care.
before Batman.
Is my thing.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, and
That's
so we
fine.
all have different views on
There's
it.
a lot. I don't care either.
I'm sure there's probably a
I
person
haven't
that
seen
says, I want to meet the person that says, I want to see Aunt May.
But no. But I'm saying you can't compare it to
There's a few internet trolls.
something
Yeah.
Aunt May
Yeah, I'd watch
because it actually has a premise that's worth fucking discovering.
Who?
It's Gotham.
Yeah.
It has a premise that's worth discovering.
I'd say
fucking Aunt May.
I'd rather watch the Gotham TV show than seeing Aunt May.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
Commissioner
Good.
Gordon.
Me
She's
too.
hot.
Commission-
Jessica Biel's plays her.
I said,
Commissioner Gordon has
Raise your
been
hand if
through
you're
a lot of
down
shit
this
with Batman, trying to accept him as being a vigilante / crime fighter. You know, he's
Yeah.
like, you know, and to see his character development. I mean, why not?
To me, it's more.
It's just like the character in Arrow, John Diggle.
I don't give a shit about Diggle.
I didn't either,
I like Diggle.
but I like him now. He's awesome. And if they make him the John Stewart fucking Green Lantern, John Diggle Green
John
Lantern.
Stewart.
Fuck yeah, that would be awesome. Like
Supposedly, I believe he's been
secretly-
put in the new comic books that they've issued now because
Yeah.
of the popularity of the show.
exactly,
Yeah, so-
and like you can have you don't have to have a comic book for character development. You can have character development on any platform.
I agree, but it's just different things appeal to different people. And to me, it's like, I know Gotham's story. I know why it's a shitty town. I know about all the mobsters and stuff.
You know what?
I know Commissioner Gordon came up through the ranks. Like, I don't know that I have to sit and watch it, I guess.
When I watch movies or when I watch TV shows, I take a D&D-esque take to it. Like, I look at these characters as, all right, you rolled a fucking investigator. and I like to see, like, okay, how well does this character unfold?
So what happens,
is this character interesting to watch?
If a detective walks in the room and he got clocked in the back of the head, he bootied his fucking spot check. Like, he didn't see shit coming, he rolled a 1.
You know what? I honestly, I was watching Young Justice.
Yeah.
And I was watching some of the shit that they go through. I was like, this is like playing D&D. The shit that they fucking had to go through, like a bunch of the members fucking lost their memory and they're trying to figure out what the fuck they were doing, and like, and
that's super freaking hilarious. That's interesting as hell.
And Superboy was feral because 6 months ago he was like a clone and he didn't know what the fuck he was.
Yeah.
And so, like, I looked at it as a D&D. Like, if I was playing these characters and I was the DM for it, I was like, this is fucking great.
If I was the DM for it, I'd be like, this shit is crazy. That's like, nobody listens.
But I really, like, when I watch these shows, I look at the character and how it develops episode after episode.
I will say this. I have no desire to see it, but if I sit down and watch it and it has a good story and it's interesting, there's no doubt I would watch it. Yeah. It's just...
As long as there's interesting characters to watch,
there's nothing to pull me into watching.
Because, like, you know, Oliver Queen in Arrow is an interesting character because he was on he was on this island and he had to survive. That is an interesting character to keep up with because you want to know, okay, I want to know how he survived, how he coped, how he did all this.
Speaking of this, I've got a spoiler question I want to ask you when we get done with this. I don't want to ruin it for Revese. I don't want to ruin it any more for him than I have to, so we won't get into that. Just help me remember when we're done.
I'll never watch the show again. Thanks to you guys.
Done. Bullshit. So
you gotta watch it.
You guys have to write a letter to the CW tonight explaining why they just lost my support.
Why they lost one guy?
Yeah. One guy that hasn't watched it yet anyway.
Watch parts of it.
It's like, I'm just going to stick to Flash now.
Flash is good too.
Haven't seen it.
It's very early, and I really can't spoil anything because it's very early. It's like it's like halfway through the first season, so.
Oh, okay.
I would say I would be the most interested in seeing the Flash.
It's really good.
And I like the Flash character too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not even a big DC guy, but the Flash was always really.
Flash.
Ben Blitzstar, he's a real big Flash.
He's a huge Flash fan.
And the fact that he hasn't seen it, man.
Like, don't call yourself a fan. So that is interesting. He hasn't seen it yet either, but. So
on the theme of, but before we go too far on the theme of remakes and everything, and I know this series doesn't necessarily have anything to do with comics or anything, even though DC recently bought them out. I'd like to see a new Mortal Kombat.
I would. Really
what do you mean DC bought them out?
Warner
Brothers owns DC and Warner Brothers owns Mortal.
They've done crossovers on games.
Yeah, I got you.
I would
like
Mortal
Scorpion
Kombat
is in Injustice.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat is supposed to have a movie coming out. They did the Legacy things, and it's
so good.
Yeah, I did enjoy it so much.
For a fucking YouTube short film, like a series,
like web
of YouTube
series
short
and
film, to come out on DVD, that's fucking huge.
Yeah, I saw that at Walmart the other day.
Yeah, that's.
I own it. It's very.
I love. Mortal Kombat has so much potential.
But everything I heard was that after the second one came out and it did good too, like he did the 2 seasons of Legacy or whatever, that they were saying, okay, if it did good, you get your movie. Well, I ain't heard shit else about it. It's like it dropped off the face of the earth, so I don't know what's going on with that. As a matter of fact, I will try to look into that for maybe the next time because I would love to know because yes, I'd be super stoked to see it.
I want either Donnie Yen or
Donnie Yen's too old.
No, he can still do it. Or Tony Jaa.
Tony Jaa's a freaking monster, dude.
It'd be Liu Kang. Get one of those.
Tony Jaa is amazing. So
it's
Bring
What's
back
up?
Christopher Lambert as motherfucking Ray, and you got your boy!
Christopher Lambert. He'd be walking in on one of those walkers with the tennis balls on. It'd be like Aunt May fucking the husband.
You can CGI someone standing up and just use
Be
his
Uncle
voice,
Ben.
man.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting about fighting games is like when you make a fighting game, you're like, all right, we're gonna have this person that uses ice. We're gonna have this person that uses fire. And we got to make them look cool and shit.
Yeah.
Well, then later on, you're like, okay, what's their backstory? And then you got like fucking shit like Mortal Kombat, where like you had all these fighting movies or fighting games, and then all of a sudden you start making these movies about them, and it's like, it's more. I think it's more interesting to go back and look at how they come about.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be really interesting because used to. Comic book movies were like the ugly stepchild of Hollywood.
Oh.
You're like, don't make them. They're shit. They're garbage. Nobody can do it right. Same thing with video games, except maybe even worse.
Johnny Cage was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, he's based off Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah.
And I just recently, out of sheer boredom and nostalgia, I watched fucking what's it called, Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, this movie was badass.
Dude,
when I watched it.
Bloodsport is badass, dude.
No,
Come
that's
on, man.
fucking nostalgia telling you. Go back and watch it now. You're like, oh, this is fucking terrible.
Bloodsport's
Acting
one of
is
the
terrible.
Bloodsport is getting
Right?
remade,
The
actually.
fighting
Yeah.
is
That's
terrible.
what-
Everything about it is terrible. But when you watched it as a kid, it was fucking awesome.
That's
Yeah.
when he's
I
fighting.
rewatched
gonna
it
keep-
recently. I'm with you. I can't get past those high-waisted
Now,
pants.
yeah, I'm gonna keep.
Your belt shouldn't be half an inch below your belly button.
I mean,
Like, I don't care how bad you are.
nostalgia and what I am right now they conflict. But like, if you look at Van Damme, what he was wearing in Bloodsport 1, he was wearing black fucking tight shorts with a red bandana thing around his waist.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage in the first Mortal Kombat wears black
Black
fucking
pants,
tights
yeah.
with a blue bandana
Yeah.
thing around his waist.
Yeah.
So they're not
Just
the same.
like
And blue.
No, but his was red in my
No,
opinion.
they made Johnny Cage after Van Damme. They wanted Van Damme to appear in the first
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat.
yeah.
They wanted it to be his
His
body.
facial, yeah.
And Van Damme said no.
All right.
So they're like, okay, we're going to make it Johnny Cage. We're going to get a new actor. They still made the same fucking pants
Absolutely,
and shit.
absolutely.
Yeah, they still did the same shit.
Speaking of something on what Don said, you know, for fighting games, you got to have a fire character and ice character. I want to know whose idea it was to have a character that went dookie dookie dookie. Did you just do that over and over, back forward B?
Back forward B.
I think it was. I'm a noob. I don't know. I was just a button masher.
So, but it's
I was the same way.
button masher.
I've always been terrible at fighting games.
He's definitely a button
Caliber,
masher.
anything like that. I have better luck just closing my eyes and
Slapping at it.
Did you say he's definitely a butt masher?
Yeah.
Because I would believe that.
Yeah, button mashing all the way. So, but going back to that, talk about these video games and stuff, and this is what we're fixing to get on, I think, in another podcast or so. You know, comic books used to be a no-no. Everybody was like, don't make them, you can't get them right, it's a way to lose money. And video games were even worse. You know, you ever seen the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Oh my god.
Shit,
Bob
son.
Henderson.
I was like, you know what? When I was fucking like 10 years old, I was so psyched to fucking see that movie.
Yeah.
But
Did you actually see at the Nintendo thing this year? They announced they're making a Super Mario's movie,
What?
but they're not doing it live action. They're doing it
Oh,
all CGI.
Okay.
thank God, because
Yeah.
I can handle that. I can handle that.
I mean, if they do,
I don't see live action working any way
no,
possible.
I mean, you would treat a Super Mario movie like you would do the Lego movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, did you
Yeah.
ever
That's
see
how you treat it.
Advent Children, Final Fantasy?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
Amazing. You
Yeah.
couldn't make that live action
No,
and
fuck
on the same
no.
quality.
So, but that
Not
brings
with the
was so
spiky
cool.
hair that all the characters have.
But for live action, here's some interesting things. Like World of Warcraft, one of the biggest,
yeah.
was it MMORPG, however the hell you say it, shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of letters. It's coming out in a live action adaptation.
Really, it's live action.
Live
They're
action.
doing it
They're
CG?
making one?
It is
Or
a
they
live
made one?
No, it's
No, I
being
know
made
it's being
now.
made.
It's got a release date and everything.
Really, when's the release? date?
I'd have to look it back up. 2016, I believe. 17 tops.
Oh boy, we're gonna be looking at that.
Yeah. So, and also Assassin's Creed has its own live action movie coming out. Michael Fassbender, dude who plays Magneto, is playing the lead character of that movie.
Huh.
There's different. I've only played like one of the Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, the premise of that is there's
so
a
I don't
guy
know
that
which
his
one he's
ancestors is.
I could see Assassin's Creed. I couldn't so much see.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed be.
Well, here's why I say why can't Warcraft work, because you got the Hobbit movies, you got Lord of the Rings, it's orcs and
Warcraft can
people
work as long as Blizzard has every right to it, and they throw fucking money at it, and they can do whatever the fuck they want to with it.
And even then, I want to see it go down. You'd have to pick a big boss, like from either vanilla, or something.
They can go back to Warcraft 3.
Illidan would be a good one.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Lich King would be a good one.
Shit, they could even go back as far as Warcraft 1, Orcs versus Humans.
I think that's actually where the premise is, because
They could go Orcs versus
I
Humans.
saw some sort of synopsis on it that said something about it's like the first time orcs and humans run into each other.
It would
like
be smart for
just
them,
realizing that they're all in the same world.
It would be smart for them to cast if they were wanting to make this movie into a franchise, it would be smart.
Oh, they wanted to
start at Warcraft 1, Orcs versus Humans, and that would be basically the origins of all this shit.
Yeah.
Because World of Warcraft has a
massive
fantastic fucking story that arcs around and does all kinds of
stories
shit.
For days.
And Orcs versus Humans is just the basic.
Well, let's not spoil too much, because we will be having a video game adaptation thing on this. So
I would say the biggest problem.
Oh, we could talk about that for probably fucking 3 episodes.
The biggest problem would be like, who would your main character be? Would it be the Alliance or Horde? Because I've looked at a lot of the server numbers, dude. Alliance numbers are down so bad.
Well,
they've always been down.
The thing is,
but they would make humans the main characters.
I don't think it would be beyond them to make main characters on either side.
Yeah.
And you can easily do it to where like this group, the orcs, the main protagonist on their side saying, this is what we're fighting for, and then the humans you can have 2 protagonists.
Yeah,
because you have a and basically it was
how
just
neat of a
opposite
film
sides.
would that be, though, to make you like you've always got good versus evil, good versus bad.
It's
you always got to root for one. Like, how cool would it be to have an audience torn on which one you want to win?
All
like,
5-year-olds would want the humans to win, and everyone else would have
the orcs in World of Warcraft weren't your traditional, Lord of the Rings, mindless barbarian.
They're very
intelligent.
They're intelligent.
They're just a different race.
They're just
crude. They're crude. They're more crude, yes, but they're not the just see them, kill them.
Yeah, they're not.
Living in caves.
They're not like a virus trying to take over the entire world. They're trying to survive just like everybody else.
It's like some Avatar shit, right? They're their own clan of things.
They're more like they're not understood. And so that's why the humans are coming after him, because...
Well, at first, the whole...
Whoa, we gotta get back. Alright, we're going way too off topic now.
You started it!
I did start it. It's my fault. We are going to be getting to this.
Alright.
And here's the thing, this is going to be y'all's show on that one, because I don't play WoW. You know that. I don't know shit about it. So I'm going to be the one with the noob questions for a change. Cool. So,
that's right,
so we'll get on. Yeah.
How do you sensei?
So one last little interjection, and then tell me if you can probably get this slated. Talking about viruses, have you seen the new live action they're doing for Halo 2?
Yeah. No.
I've seen the Master Chief.
They did the.
You seen Forward Unto Dawn?
Yeah. They did the Forward Unto Dawn.
When I went and watched The Hobbit the other night, they had it was before the movie. They did another trailer, and it's another live action Halo, but this one's got the flood in it.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, that's interesting as hell.
Fuck!
Hey.
Yeah, it was bad.
Well, I'm interested
and
to
see. And it just showed Spartans just battling flood, and
flood is.
Oh, and it showed the Covenant getting infected and coming at them like
oh my gosh,
infected Covenant with the swords and invis and coming through, and then at the very end you saw the big flood. You remember the flood tank?
When we get done recording this, we look that up on the internet, right? We're gonna go find that somewhere.
Yeah,
it sounds amazing. So, but we're trying to finish off the comic book things, and pretty much covered all we need to cover for now. Before the podcast started, I asked everybody to try to come up with a top 10 list of absolutely like the worst comic book movies that we have seen, because we've talked good about some, we talked bad about some, but what's it's always fun to do a little bashing. So let's get together and I want to compare lists. I want to see who thinks what was shitty, who liked something better than the other.
I want to be the Hulk. Hulk smash bad comic movies.
Jeez. So, we're gonna start at 10. I want to work our way down to see what's the worst of the worst. So, starting at number 10, what do you have?
What do I have?
Yeah, what do you have at number 10?
I don't have anything at number 10.
You have nothing.
That's because I saved number 10 for Batman versus Superman.
Damn!
Because if
Ben Affleck's
and you'll
that movie.
understand when I get to number 1.
Okay.
Because Ben Affleck is a little beady-eyed little motherfucker ruins this movie. I will be pissed.
This sounds like a podcast I've recorded before. What do you think?
But if Superman fucking carries through, I mean, I don't know. It depends on how they do Ben Affleck.
So you're saving it as a just in case.
Yeah,
I got you.
It would be even if I don't like it, it wouldn't make it as my top. Worst
Yeah, it wouldn't be
movie
the worst
seen.
ever. Yeah,
But I'm reserving it. I'm reserving that spot for that movie.
I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman, but for different reasons. I like Ben Affleck as an actor. I think he's done some really good roles and stuff, like Dogma. Love Dogma.
Oh God, yeah.
And there was a couple more, but I just don't see him playing Batman the same way that I don't.
Yeah,
you know,
he just doesn't seem like.
he doesn't seem Batman.
He doesn't have
but-
Batman qualities to me.
Yeah.
All right, so
Wait. Hold up. Well, I'm gonna go all the way
We're going
around.
around
Yeah.
10? Okay.
Yeah. All right. What do you have for 10?
Okay, this one was might surprise a few people considering the long list of bad movies, but Iron Man 3 was my top 10.
You know what? I haven't seen Iron Man 3, so
Iron Man 3 is actually
I was wanting. to see
it's
it.
one of my honorable mentions. It didn't make my top 10 list, but if the list would have been stretched a little farther, it could have.
Imagine
You mean
if
honorable shipments?
Yeah.
I like what you did there. So.
imagine if like in the Batman movies, if Bruce Wayne's parents were alive, you'd be like, what the hell is this movie? No, I will not see it. Okay, the Iron Man 3 movie, The Mandarin.
Yeah, it was a
Mandarin
super big fail. Yeah.
So the Mandarin is like Deadpool. He's an actor who knows he's an actor and pushes out for being an actor and is not really nothing. So he failed so hard.
Very, very.
I still
shitty.
love you, Robert Downey.
Yeah.
And then everything with Extremis and
Yeah.
I think they might be setting up Iron Man 3 though for Civil War.
Well, I think, it definitely has a lot to do with it too. But I think the extremis virus, like in the comic books, like helped him get rid of from needing the little heart thing or whatever. So probably got a little set up to that
it's
too.
not that I had a problem with Extremis. It's
Yeah,
kinda
no,
how-
I agree. The movie was definitely not up to par on what Marvel's been putting out. So,
And
all
then-
right, what do you have as your number 10?
I got Punisher.
Which Punisher?
The
The
2003. No, not Warzone. I never saw Warzone.
Oh, okay. So
Mainly because the
one with John Travolta in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one of his. And I like John Travolta. That was one of his less memorable roles
I'm
for me.
sad. I enjoyed that movie. I must say, like it got a lot of shit, but I did enjoy it. What did you like about it?
It just seemed like it was just kind of like thrown together. Like it didn't like the plot and everything. It's like, oh, his family died, so he gets him back. Like it's just. And I know in the Punisher that was kind of him, but he didn't really fight anybody. He kind of just like secluded himself and then went out and blew shit up.
Yeah, I will agree with you like that. Definitely think the story could have been done a little better. It was just like, all right, bad guys come to my house, I go to bad guy's house. That was kind of it. So,
The end. Look at my car.
Yeah, so I can give you that. I do think they definitely could have done a better job. But I think Thomas Jane makes a good Punisher, though. Like, I think Warzone was fucking garbage from hell. So, as in my 10th pick, I have X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That's
the way they fucked up Deadpool, the way we've discussed this before, just Gambit was so horrible. I like maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes of that movie, and the rest of it I give no shits about. Like it's all terrible from there.
which, granted, like, at the time when I watched it, when I seen this fucking Frankenstein of a character that they had, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then when I found out later who it was, like who it really was, I was like, oh.
Well, even then, like, yes, Deadpool can do some crazy things or whatever, but, like, shoot Cyclops' laser beams from his eyes and all this stuff. And
he doesn't have his swords come out of his arms.
No, it was just bad.
The only reason that movie didn't make my list was because how much I liked the first little bit of it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's actually pretty daggone cool.
Yeah. And so that, I don't know, it was just...
Everything leading up, Wolverine, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
They did a story, but just, they butchered it so bad.
Yeah, it just, I don't know where they thought they were going with it afterwards. So it's like they changed directors in the middle of the movie or something. Okay, so we're going to start with number 9. What do you got, Bronson?
I got Batman Forever.
Okay.
Forever?
Yeah.
Forever. So that's the one. That's the one with
Kilmer?
Two-Face and
Riddler. And I think it's mainly because the way they portrayed Two-Face. Now, I love what's his name?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones
God,
is
good.
a fucking badass actor.
Yeah.
But he is not a Two-Face. He could have been a Two-Face, but
I don't know if it's so much.
I think
it's Joel Schumacher. Like, his visions for those movies were fucking shit.
I really like the way they portrayed Two-Face in like the Chris Nolan Batmans.
Yeah,
that was a good Two-Face.
It was good, but when you talk about Two-Face, he's supposed to have the kind of serious side, and then there's the maniac laughter side. And with Tommy Lee Jones, you got the maniac laughter side.
It was almost
and with
like
Christopher Nolan, you got the serious side, but neither one of them did both well.
It was almost like the Joker was playing Two-Face.
Yeah,
because he was just crazy the whole time.
It was like,
there was no back and forth. Like, I can be good. Like, I can't.
And
he should have flipped his coin and been like, "Yeah, I'm not going to rob this store. Let's leave. Let's go." It was just bad all the time.
And they really showed like his duality.
Yeah.
Like when they were in his lair, they showed like the really crazy side and the really calm, but there was no calm. It was all just fucking crazy.
Right.
And I just thought that, like, seeing it when I saw it, I was like, oh, another Batman movie is cool.
Yeah.
Thinking back on it, it's like, no, it's not where it should have been.
Not at all.
Well, the reason I kept that movie off my list was because Tommy Lee Jones was the only character that really, to me, was kind of just out of place. Val Kilmer, he played a pretty, I don't want to say dark Batman, but a very serious Batman.
I think Val Kilmer did a good job.
I think he did good Batman.
They kept, we talk about DC
Val Kilmer
and how
is a
dark.
good fucking actor.
And I love Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Yeah.
Personally, I thought that was a great cast, honestly.
Just talking about DC movies, look at the Riddler. I mean, what they said in the movie, the Riddler killed a guy. Before he was like necessarily a bad guy, he threw his boss out the window. It showed Dick Grayson's family dying. I mean, it's pretty dark. Sick movie if you think about it. It kept to a pretty good DC standard.
Well, you want to talk about crazy? Like, Jim Carrey playing the Riddler was laughing his ass off when he's watching Two-Face on TV, blowing shit up, and shooting people.
Yeah,
and everything else.
Two-Face really just acted too much like the Joker.
I agree.
Like the Joker did in the very first Batman. He acted like that. Or even worse. He was even more over the top.
Worse, yeah. He was very over the top.
He had crazy people that did crazy shit, and he was talking crazy all the time. I don't know. It's just not Two-Face.
Yeah. What do you got for number 9?
All right. I really, really hesitated to put these slash movies on my list, because you can't hold the movies that were made in the 60s and 70s to the same standards that we have today. It's just it's so much of a different era, so many different advances in technology, and I really hate to say it because he's so iconic with Superman, but Reeves in Superman 3 and 4, those movies were so bad.
Wait a minute. You're gonna fucking knock Christopher Reeves?
No, it's dude. Look at
You've got to see the movies,
dude.
Okay,
even for its time.
You know what?
Bad.
You can't like be like, oh,
We're
it's
talking
Christopher
about
Reeves. You can't be like, oh, he's a quadriplegic and he's dead now. No, Superman 3 and 4 sucked. Okay, and at this point in time, he was not a handicapable person. He was just a shitty actor.
This is the plot for Superman 3. Check this out.
Fly around the world
What?
thing.
No.
That was 4.
Oh, dadgummit. What? Richard Pryor is the good/bad guy.
Yeah.
And he ends up becoming this genius because he can build this computer. He builds this computer, and it analyzes Superman's weakness. It can like figure out anybody's weakness, and it analyzes Superman. It's like, you're weak to kryptonite. So they try and make kryptonite, and they screw up, and they add tobacco in the kryptonite, and
So
they give it to Superman. And the whole movie is like Superman is like battling himself, and Superman splits in two. And this fucking bad Superman's going around doing bad shit, and the good Clark Kent.
Bizarro? Is it supposed to be Bizarro?
No.
Like
It's
Clark
just-
Kent is walking around being the good guy, and like, Superman, don't do that. And then the bad Superman's like, I do what I want, Superman. I smoke Primal all day long, man.
So it is very, very horrible. Like
That sounds bad.
Again, hating to.
Too bad I can't change my shit.
Really not wanting to dish on the old movies, but.
yeah.
That
this
is
is
you know
too
what?
bad.
No, that is a
No,
bad
because
thing.
they did
bad.
good with the first two, so there's no excuse
Yeah.
for failing with the third one. You just got fucking lazy and stupid or
And
something.
then
It was-
Nuclear Man in the fourth one. It's
Yeah.
like,
They were just riding the
Sup-
name at that point.
Yeah.
Superman beats the bad guy in the fourth one by locking him in an elevator.
Yes.
I have to say one thing about the
Elevator.
Superman movie.
My only weakness.
I don't know which Superman movie it was, but there was a Superman movie where Superman flies in. He's carrying Lois Lane, drops her off at her balcony and says, see you later or whatever. He flies around, all in one shot, flies around, and there's a knock on the door, and it's Clark Kent.
Yeah.
At that time, they didn't do any cuts. Like, Superman was Superman. He flew around, put on a fucking, like a quick suit real quick,
Yeah.
and fucking knocked on the door, and he was Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to say that was something pretty impressive. at the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I didn't know about that. That's fucking crazy. That's retarded.
So, alright, what do you got for your 9?
My number 9 is Spawn.
And, oh, man.
And this is why,
Nelson's about to get angry.
Oh, man.
just because the CGI in that movie was so horrible.
Some of it was, yeah.
It was, are you kidding me? When he, like, any scene in hell with, like, the devil and
shit
stuff,
fire and
it
everything,
was
yeah.
horrible.
There's no doubt
All
about
that
that.
CGI is horrible. And it was a little bit, what was that, late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
I think it was late 90s.
Yeah.
Middle to
I
late
mean,
90s.
yeah, they cheaped out. Even because back then the CGI was not that bad. They cheaped out. It could have been a lot better.
Funding.
And other than that, even the storyline itself was, it just wasn't there.
I was just so into the John Leguizamo
Dude, John Leguizamo
his
saved
Violator
that movie,
is just
Yeah.
amazing. I thought
The Violator,
great.
he was
Pretty soon
and
you're
he-
going to start growing hair in strange places.
he did okay, but again, when I think of Spawn, I want a dark, serious, demonic Batman type.
yeah.
I really
not even really a superhero, but a super, just kind of anti-hero. He's just kind of he fucks shit up.
The reason I didn't put Spawn on my list is, number one, I really
enjoyed it.
like Spawn.
Yeah.
And it is the only Spawn movie that exists.
It is.
And it's hard to
And the
knock it.
animated was amazing.
Yeah, the animated is fucking amazing.
Oh, it's super good.
But the Spawn movie,
Yeah.
if they were to do another one and show what they could do with it, then maybe. But it's still like
I would absolutely go watch another Spawn.
It holds only place in movies for Spawn. So it's like
It didn't turn me off of Spawn by any means. I just looked at it and said, "Well, that
it was the only attempt.
I did.
Spawn.
I know. That's what I say. It didn't turn me off of Spawn.
I mean, it's
but
not a
I
franchise.
just looked at it and said, okay, that was just the company cheaping out.
Yeah.
Spawn is better than that.
Personally,
Michael John White
it could be
is
mostly
probably one of
nostalgia.
the easier actors to get for playing.
Yeah.
He is a cheaper actor.
Yeah. When's the last time you saw that movie?
It could be it could be a nostalgia thing for me. That's
Go
why it didn't
home
make my top
and watch
10,
it tonight.
because I did kind of enjoy it. But yeah, you're probably right. If I went back and watched it, it'd probably be shitty. It's not. I still don't think it's shitty enough to make my top 10. But it wasn't. It's not like the top greatest either. So
I'm not the Vindicator.
yeah.
Or the something.
Yeah.
I'm the Violator.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
So I love Leguizamo though. He's great.
Yeah, but again,
It's kind of a "what have you done for me lately" thing. I don't see him in anything anymore.
1997 is when that movie came out.
was it? So
Yeah.
it's the late 90s.
The late 90s, they didn't have that good of fucking CGI then.
Well,
Still.
Any movie in the 90s, CGI was
when
not anywhere close to where.
When did they remake? When did they
Star
remake the
Wars.
Star Wars Episode 4?
Came.
Late 90s,
Episode
early 2.
4.
Yeah, when he remade them before.
A New Hope.
Yeah, he went and did a whole bunch of new.
Remember they added a bunch of.
special
They
effects.
basically took the old movies. They took the original 70 movie.
They used fucking toys.
No, they
Well,
took the.
the
No,
fucking-
he's talking about when they
original-
redid it and did CGI.
They took the original Star Wars Episode 4 to New Hope and just added like CGI.
They did it
to
with
They
all
added
of
shit
them.
in the background. It wasn't
They
even
added shit in the
impressive.
foreground. They added shit in the foreground. They added like
It
wonderful stuff
wasn't even
walking down
that
the street and
impressive.
stuff.
It was
Yeah, it
fucking.
It looked a hell of a lot better than Spawn.
It was barely fucking anything.
No,
they
it
might
was-
have added a couple of stormtroopers in the
No,
background.
they added. If
playing
you
the
haven't seen it,
Tiddlywinks or
if you,
something. They didn't fucking do
put it this
that.
way, they added so much stuff to it that a lot of fanboys got pissed off and said you ruined Star Wars because they added a lot of CGI.
I did think it was a
to
lot of
movies.
unnecessary additions.
They added some shit like when they show like the aliens fucking jamming out. and
Yeah,
shit, they
yeah,
added
yeah.
like some CG aliens instead of the fucking Muppet aliens.
They did.
Yeah.
But not only that, but I'm saying Spawn, they had more advanced CGI
I don't know,
available
man.
at the
Go
time.
look at more '90s movies. I don't think they did.
They did.
Okay, so
I just told you, so it's fact.
Alright, so on my number 9, I've got Green Lantern.
Had better CGI than Spawn.
That's true.
Barely. Barely.
Allegedly. So I'm definitely not on the Green Lantern. It was shit. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't even like the way he looked in the costume. I mean, to me, it just didn't go well. Parallax.
How
I
the
thought,
fuck is he supposed to look in a costume? It's supposed to be tight on his body.
No,
It's supposed to be like baggy.
Did
like
you ever
fucking-
see that movie Cool World with Brad Pitt? With
Yeah.
that's the CGI from that and Green Lantern remind me a lot of like the same thing. It's like Green Lantern, he's like do it like this big like balloon looking thing would like pop out and it's a machine gun all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Or he'd do it and like a big fist would come out. Like I was like,
it was
Kind of like the mask. Like the,
yeah,
some of the
yes,
CGI
yeah,
for the mask.
yeah.
CGI in the Mask was better than Spawn. And it's an older movie. That's like a '94 movie.
It is not. It is fucking not.
It is.
I'm gonna fucking look it up.
That's Cameron Diaz's first movie, by the way. Yeah.
PARTY.
So she did. I don't know if I should say it, but she did a porn back in '80.
I'm gonna look at that later too.
You guys didn't know. Never mind.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Not at all.
94, actually, yeah, the mask.
Mask,
94.
yeah, okay.
CGI.
So that's my number 9.
Yeah.
Green Lantern. I think we've bashed it a few times on here, so
Parallax,
we'll leave
yeah,
it at
it's
that.
kind of like
Parallax
Mandarin,
was shit,
kind of like
though.
Mandarin. You screw.
Well, just the way they did it to me was. I mean, I understand he's a big entity, but all right, let's move on. What you got for 8?
X-Men Origins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, to me,
Really?
like I actually like
That's your
X-Men
8?
Origins.
My number 8 is
X-Men
Wolverine Origins.
Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I didn't know at that time when I watched it. I didn't know anything about Deadpool.
Right.
Okay, so I started to advance my knowledge about comic book characters in Deadpool, and then when I saw like that was Deadpool, I was like, "You fucking faggots!" So that's why it put me there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it wasn't that good. What do you got?
All right, it's again like this isn't an old. Well, it's an old movie, older movie, but not old like Superman. And I try and just give it a little bit more credit and have it only 8 because it's Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and
That's
Robin.
it. Your number 8.
Yeah. See, I judge the movies that are newer a lot harsher. Because back then, it wasn't always necessarily popular to make.
Batman and Robin ain't that back then.
But
I mean,
Batman and Robin was after Batman Forever, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just screwed it so bad. But see, it wasn't necessarily the cool thing to make superhero movies back then. It was okay.
You tell me that like that shit right there, like that don't rate lower on your list?
No, I'm saying like
Burn.
Okay, who were the superheroes back then that made
It's
movies.
Batman and Superman. That's,
It was Batman
really
and
it.
Superman. Okay, so you didn't have now Aunt May's getting a fucking movie, man. I'm gonna judge Aunt May so much harder than I'm gonna judge.
Oh
you.
yeah.
I can tell you that's going to be the new number one.
Oh
when
yeah,
shit
one of
comes
these
out,
motherfuckers
like-
are moving down.
Yeah.
I don't
just-
see that movie getting made.
It's just Poison Ivy was.
You don't see that movie getting made.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
All right,
So it's just.
so y'all got the same thing for number 8. So for my number 8, I've got Blade Trinity.
Oh, you.
Wasn't that bad of a movie?
I thought it was fucking garbage. The first 2 were
So
amazing.
Triple H is in it.
Yeah, Triple H was in
Now,
it.
okay, that was probably the worst part of it. Was his
Ryan
acting.
Reynolds was in that movie as
Just
well.
because the
Ryan
Rock
Reynolds
was
was
an
with
actor
Jessica
doesn't mean that
Yeah.
Triple H can be.
Ryan Reynolds was actually very good in the movie. He was very funny.
Mhm.
That's all I liked about that movie. I liked absolutely nothing else
Dude,
about that
I like
movie.
them. I like
Nothing.
the outfit manager for Jessica Biel.
Well,
That
yeah,
movie's
she's
raised.
kind of hot
I
too.
think Ryan Reynolds and Blade Trilogy reminded me of Deadpool.
Yeah,
He's gonna beat
yeah.
that horse one more time.
Yeah.
He really did. I
Yeah.
mean, he was.
He was auditioning for the character. He didn't even realize it. Yeah.
Yes, he can't help it. That's who he is.
Yeah. So that's my number 8 though. I thought it was just
Uh,
shit all the way around. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the acting. I didn't like nothing about it. The fucking effects in it were garbage. You talk about cheaping out. It just looked like crap.
So here's a fun fact: the guy that plays Daryl on The Walking Dead
Yeah.
played in
Scud.
Blade 2.
in Blade 2.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. Yep.
Yep.
Norman Reedus. Yep.
Mhm.
He's done a lot of good things actually. Boondock Saints it's like my number 1 favorite movie of all time.
The first one.
Fucking great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, second one's bad. We'll get on that later too. So, all right. So what do you have at number 7?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Don Bronson is gonna get murdered in his sleep.
That's the one where they went to Asia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
Oh yeah, they went back in time and they're like
In Japan.
samurai
in Japan
turtles
or
or
something.
something.
The best guy was-
Shogun turtles.
Just
Lord
fucking
Nobunaga.
terrible. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, like
Good.
they had jokes and
So
shit in
good.
it, and it was really good.
Very
They
good.
had really good time jokes,
Yeah.
Right.
and the suits and the suits, like you would expect the suits to not be that great. The fucking suits were
I
badass.
thought, yeah,
like
yeah,
they did a good
so
job.
I
With
can
the
go watch
detail.
Ninja Turtles like right now and be perfectly satisfied
Yeah.
seeing it.
The guy who played Raphael in the very first one went to the hospital twice with a heat stroke because the
Really?
suits were
Yeah.
so just like super
Yeah.
intensive and
Yeah.
stuff.
And
No wonder he
in,
kept saying "damn."
in 2 and 3, they really like the suits didn't look that great like they did in the first one. And
I ain't gonna say 2. I got no.
Now 2, if you want to say 2 and 3 are bad, 3 is in a whole different league.
level of bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
that's
two
why it's
was.
number 7.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty rough.
But it's like they
It's a
kept
more of a-
trying to play on
it's
what
like they got
thought.
lazy.
It seems like they try to play on what they thought was good about their movie, and
I
it
don't
wasn't.
know what
they need to
thought
look at
good
Ninja Turtles
coming out of
1
that.
and take away.
Vanilla Ice saved number 2.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go!
Hey, you know it though. That's all that matters.
We
That's all that
watched
matters.
we watched it not too long ago.
Don't you do that, Brad. Wait, what's your?
Don't I do what?
Don't you play it?
What are you talking about?
What's your number 7?
I am so not about to play Ninja Rap.
What? No. What's your?
Suck it.
That's what's on your phone. Yeah.
Oh, number 7 for me. Oh wait, is it my turn?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was number.
No. Yeah. We're on number
7.
7. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Green Lantern.
Okay.
I should probably put this one higher because the stink factor was pretty cool,
yeah.
pretty bad. But Mark
Strong.
Mark Strong
Yeah.
saved it for me because
Yeah.
it's like as long as he's Sinestro in any future DC movie,
He did.
He
He
did
played
do
a damn
job.
good fucking.
He always plays a good villain though.
yeah.
And playing in the Sherlock movies and stuff, like he's very, very good. What do you have for number 7?
I have the first Fantastic Four.
Ah.
And my biggest problem with that movie was the portrayal of the characters in relation to like their actual comic book selves. Like the overall theme of it was okay. Like I didn't mind that, the storyline and everything, but just the way they, like the Thing, they made him looked really weak. He got beat up a lot. And And he's on the same power level as the Hulk. The Thing is just as strong as the Hulk, and they made him look really good.
Well, for a little bit anyway.
Well, no, he's pound for pound, he's just as strong as the Hulk, but the difference there is, yes, the Hulk never
gets stronger.
Well, no, he just never gets tired. Whereas the Thing will actually get tired. The Thing has to stop and eat and sleep, whereas the Hulk can fight for 3 months as long as he stays angry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. The first Fantastic Four was... It's not in my top 10 for worst, but it damn sure wasn't nothing special. It was so bad, like, when Chris Evans plays the Human Torch in there, and, like, when I heard he was cast as Captain America, I'm like, did anybody watch Fantastic Four? What are you doing? Like, so...
I don't think the Torch ruined that movie.
No, he didn't. You're right, but the whole thing was, it was still all I could think was, like, it was just so bad, so...
I mean, they're not even in my lineup. I thought the Fantastic Four movie was decent. You know?
It's decent. Yeah. It's decent, but it's damn sure not...
And I thought
good.
I thought the Silver Surfer was pretty fucking creepy too. Like,
no.
Was he supposed to be more creepy than what he was?
Nice.
He played a really like the Silver Surfer.
That's in
a
the
really
second
creepy
one though.
character.
I like number 2, and that's why I don't have Fantastic Four number 2 on my list, because in number 2, they did a better representation of characters. Like, they had that little bit, like, where they show the Thing, like, picking up the whole Ferris wheel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he lifted the entire thing up in this massive 300-ton structure.
Well, this is going to be interesting in a second, then.
Yeah.
Because at my number 7, though, I've got X-Men Last Stand. That's the one where the Phoenix was in it. And my God, was it fucking terrible.
You talking about like where she
kills Professor Xavier. I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh God, it's so ugly. I have multiple problems with that.
What's your multiple problems with it?
Okay, first of all, like one, and this one might just be a comic book thing because I know things about the comic books or whatever. The general audience might not, so maybe it makes more sense. Like Juggernaut as a character, he's not a mutant.
No, he's not.
All those other characters are mutants. Well, they got the kid that turns off mutants' powers, right? They don't work. Well, Juggernaut goes running into a wall and bounces his head off of it and shit because he's got no power all of a sudden. He's not a mutant. He would have fucking clobbered their ass.
Hang on. I have a defense for that.
There
is no defense.
So just because just because he turns off powers doesn't mean it's only mutant powers.
Yeah,
they turn off powers. Period.
Yeah, that's exactly what his power is it stops the mutant thing from
He would have to. Yeah, he'd have
That's
to
very
cancel.
specific. Why wouldn't he just stop any kind of supernatural power?
Stop genetic.
That's
magic.
magic.
He stops genetic powers.
Yeah, Juggernaut's
It
power.
doesn't say that he stops genetic powers.
That's what his character is. It's Leech.
His blood, his blood and his DNA wraps around mutated DNA and nullifies it. That's how he stops. That's how his powers in the movie were portrayed. So he stopped. So the Juggernaut not having mutant DNA,
there's nothing to stop.
Yeah.
What if whatever makes him Juggernaut
it's magic.
alters his DNA?
The Juggernaut's backstory is he was this really weak, kind of nobody archaeologist that got picked on a lot, and then he was exploring these ancient Egyptian pyramids, and he found this helmet. And he put this.
They found the gem, actually, the Crimson Gem.
Yeah, I thought it was the helmet. Was it the gem?
Well, it's the gem, but when he puts the helmet on, it works because he actually doesn't have to have the gem on him. So it's when he puts the helmet on is when the gem goes to work. But that's what he found was the gem. Yeah.
And
so it's very interesting.
So you don't think that somebody to be indestructible, their DNA wouldn't have to be altered in some kind of way so they can
magic? I would say.
So you don't think So I say again, you don't think the magic would alter the DNA so that the person could have have that physical.
Nah, it's all illusions.
No, I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
I don't see it.
I know what you're saying, but I'm just.
I don't
that's
say
why I
that it's so far fetched.
That's why I said it's a comic book thing.
That's fine.
It's a comic book thing because I know what the story is, so that's.
I just don't say that it's so far fetched that he.
I'm not saying it's far
fetched.
Drain
any kind of.
That's why I'm saying it made me upset.
Yeah.
Because I know what it is, and I didn't like it. Everybody else can.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand there's a logical reason, but I still thought it was stupid. And I thought the movie was stupid. Killing Professor Xavier was stupid. The way they did the Phoenix was
Right.
fucking stupid. It was just
It got
bad,
people
bad.
like fucking like, oh shit, this motherfucker died.
Dude, the Phoenix is a mystical force that predates the universe. She's
Yeah.
not some, like,
temper tantrum
tantrum
throwing. Yeah,
alter
that's just...
ego of Jean Grey. It's just like failure.
I didn't like how they
so
portrayed her as the
fucking
Phoenix. I wouldn't have cared so much if they'd have done like a Class 5 mutant like the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Just a super telekinetic.
Yep.
You know, that'd have been better than calling her a Phoenix.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. Jean Grey also has telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
And if she sees Wolverine coming up to her, she's just going to let him walk up to him, knowing he's like, no, you fly miles away.
Yeah,
Don't touch
it's
me.
just bad. Killing off Cyclops and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There was so much bad and like. So what do you have for 6? Let's start. We got to start getting through these.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
All right.
I put you in the vagina!
This is bad. That's bad. There's nothing wrong with the second Ninja Turtles.
No,
I don't think
was
it was
terrible.
so good.
No, it was terrible.
No.
If you
The
compare
Vanilla Ice
if you
thing
com-
might have been a little bad, but other than that, it's okay.
If you
It's the
compare
best part of the
Ninja
movie.
Turtles 1,
Yeah, they don't like Vanilla Ice.
But if you compare Ninja Turtles 2 to any of these other things on the list, it's
if
not
you
even
compare
close.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 to any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles after the fact,
Yes.
they're terrible compared to the first
No.
one.
No,
not
April
terrible.
was hotter than the
So
second one.
fucking
No.
1 and 2.
The
Yeah.
first one,
April was hotter than the second
the
one.
first one, the first Ninja Turtles was fucking perfect. They had the characters perfect. They had the costumes perfect.
I
They
don't-
had the comedy perfect.
I think
And
I
they
like
fucking
all
ruined
this
it.
second.
Comedy in the second.
I like it. I like it in the
fucking
second one.
ruined it.
I-
They
I-
fucking went over the top with the shit. It was retarded. Like they thought that the comedy sold the movie from the first one. That's not what sold it. It was because it was ahead of its time. That's what sold it. The fucking way the
I'm just
costumes
saying.
look. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, like, took it and fucking tried to amplify the comedy like that's what fucking sold the movie. It wasn't.
No, see, it's like
No.
they added comedy, they added action.
And then they did
there wasn't
Yeah.
as much like
They did not
character
add
interaction.
action. They did not.
too. Dude, the
No.
opening
I
scene
think-
is
I
like
think
a
when the first
15-minute
one-
fight.
Yeah.
The first Ninja Turtle was a very original one. That was almost, kids, but adults. You
It
know
was
what I mean?
more
That
adults, yeah.
because it showed, Raph getting hurt real bad and
Yeah.
he's, injured and all that
It was
stuff.
good.
It was really more adult themed.
It was good.
But I
even
think
when watched it as
after
a kid.
the
Yeah.
success of the first one, they saw, they just blew
They
up.
got complacent.
Ninja Turtles after the first one just
Yeah.
blew up, and you started
cannot
getting
tell me-
everything.
I don't
you
think
cannot
so.
sit here and tell me in the same fucking skin that you're in right now
Yes, I can.
that that 2 and 3 were as good.
No,
as
hell no. 3 fucking 2. We agree with 3. We don't agree with 2. That's the only difference.
2's fucking.
2 is fine with me.
I
Dude,
watched
there's no way
it
it
as-
makes my top 10.
I watched 1 and 2 recently.
Yeah.
Recently,
I watch them all the time.
and I
Yeah.
can tell you sternly that number 1 is
Not passively.
I'm not saying
not
I'm
passively
saying-
going to tell you.
You're acting
anything.
like I'm saying they're all good. It's not. I enjoy the first one, and I think the third one is shit. And it was easily fixing to beat.
I would agree
I
that
think-
number
I
one
think
is the
the
best.
second one
I-
was
I
not
think
bad
that-
enough to make my top 10
I
at
think
all.
that Toka and Razor,
Yeah.
they did not have the technology to bring those fucking characters to the big screen because they looked too fucking. Their face didn't move enough, and they had they made the shit work for the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Where the facial features
Well,
move.
Toka and Ryza are not supposed to be intelligent. They're supposed to just.
Their face can fucking move.
Bro, there's a dog. You can't get a dog's face to move
No.
too much in a snapping turtle.
Yeah, you can.
A snapping turtle has a beak. Bah, bah. But let me tell you,
Okay, so its eyebrows can't fucking move.
I hate to admit this as a 28-year-old man, but I probably have over 100 Ninja Turtle toys at my house in the box. I am the expert. I hate to brag, but I consider myself the resident expert on the Ninja Turtles, and I refuse to be part of any podcast that has Ninja Turtle toys.
Jeez.
Brandon, I am 30 years old, and I grew up fucking watching Ninja
should have
Turtles.
We all grew up
I-
watching Ninja
And I have to
Turtles.
say that 2 and 3 just fucking ruined it for.
Oh no, I wasn't alive when the first one
for the
came
rest
out.
of them.
Yeah, shit. So what do you have for where the fuck are we? 6? What do you have for 6?
Number 6, I gotta go with X-Men.
Last Stand, yeah.
Oh, dude, yes.
Yeah. God, it was.
The action was alright, but just the
Some of it,
Just
but there was other parts that's just too much. I like him kicking the dude in the ball, saying "grow those back." That was great, but other than that,
Magneto showing how powerful he is, like lifting the bridge.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
You just don't like him killing Jean-Luc Picard?
No, hell no. Dude, only the
Yeah,
board, but even the board couldn't hold back. But
Yeah.
you can only screw up so many characters before I
Right.
get pissed off.
What do you have for number 6?
My number 6 is Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Going back to that
It's
one.
gonna make the list somewhere. My number 6 is Hulk, the one with Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Yeah, didn't enjoy Ang Lee's version of that. Did not. The graphics comparatively to like the newer things and what they're doing, I didn't think it was that good. I thought the story was pathetic. Like the coolest part, he fought some big dogs. Like that was it. It was just bad all the way around. I did not enjoy it. So.
Then the Hulk sitting there bleeding like a little girl.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, it was just bad.
Dude, these dogs' teeth were cracking.
It made him look all pouty and shit too, like he was having emotions. It was like Hulk just smash, just give me that. So that's my number 6. What do you got for number 5?
I have Green Lantern.
Even though you enjoyed it a little bit, comparing
I've been watching a lot of Justice League stuff, and I see how the Green Lanterns are supposed to be. They're more police than they are like, oh look, I got this cool ring, and look what I can do with it.
Yeah.
So as far as the character development, it's not like he supposed. Who was he supposed to be? Which Green Lantern was he?
He's Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan.
Yeah, and Hal Jordan is just as serious as John Stewart.
Right.
So,
I think they wrote that role for Ryan Reynolds. Like, they wrote it to fit his kind of typecast.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds' typecast is not Green Lantern.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, what do you have for...
Oh, this is hard, man, when it get... Oh, what did you have to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I didn't have a problem with CG. I thought the CG was okay for... I mean, however you're going to make fucking green missiles look, I'm sure they look like that. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, anything that's made of green Jell-O, I'm sure that's exactly what it looked like. So whatever.
All right.
It probably would have been better if they just took, like, to show the impact, take green Jell-O,
Let's just smash
throw
it
some on the wall, and just throw it at the wall.
Bill Cosby could have been the effects editor.
Oh, you see, it was green Jell-O splattered on the wall.
Oh, crap.
So what's your number 5?
Oh, this is where it gets hard, because there's so many that don't want to poo-poo on. But I think I got to go with Fantastic Four number 2. Yeah,
That's my number 5 as well. Oh, great motherfucker! Ow, shit, now I'm tearing up the set. Alright, yeah.
Okay, I'll give you, like, in the first... I didn't think the first one was, like, horrible. It wasn't my favorite. But again, I consider origin stories. I give them a little more leeway than you've built up everything, and it just like you said in the second one, they showed how the powers are a little bit more like you got the thing lifting up this big old Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
that part is cool. But man, I can't handle you guys, not us in the room, but those movie guys screwing up other characters so bad. You cannot screw up Galactus.
Galactus was the worst part about that. That was
really
so
was.
terrible.
Dude, yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
So bad.
Yeah, man.
Oh, look at cloud of smoke. Oh, shit, right.
I wanted to see a giant purple helmet coming.
We didn't. Even
I wanted to see a giant starship and like maybe a behind the head shot of this giant helmet.
Well, yeah, that would have been something. Like, give me an outline.
Give
if
me
you
a
don't
helmet,
think
an outline.
you've got the stuff to do it justice, then give me something. Like. That was just so bad.
There's one fight or 2 fights in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, I expect the second one to have way more action.
It was terrible.
I hate to dish on it like that.
No, fuck no. Damn that. It was crap. So crap. She's not a good actress either. She's just hot.
I'll look at her.
That's all you need now.
That's true. So what do you got for 5?
My number 5 is Daredevil.
Ooh. Been waiting on that to hit the list.
Yeah, just overall, terrible movie.
Yeah, I do agree that
Ben
that movie
Affleck,
was...
not a good Daredevil.
I can't defend him no more. I've tried. Like
Ben Affleck is not a good Daredevil. I just everything about the movie. I mean, I think Michael Mann playing Kingpin was probably the best part.
Colin Farrell was garbage.
Bullseye, he was
terrible.
horrible as Bullseye.
So
and then
bad.
again, Jennifer Garner being hot and Michael
Yes.
dunking in that movie. Those are the only good things about it.
Yeah.
I think
The part where he breaks up the paperclip.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could like stick me with a paperclip and I'm gonna be like, ow, man, what was that for?
Yeah, that was a bit.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll give him one chance because Daredevil is blind. So how can Affleck read the script?
No.
So that's the only reason.
The script was the problem, though. There wasn't so much Daredevil stuff.
He should have done some more method acting and learned to read Braille.
Tearing up
It might have
everything.
been better.
All right, so let's get on. That was my number 5 is the same as yours. So what's your number 4?
Ghost Rider.
Which one?
The first one.
First one.
1 or 2?
It's pretty bad.
That's I went up and
And I mean, I guess it was okay when I watched it, but like thinking back, like the scene where like the Ghost Rider is riding on his motorcycle and the original Ghost Rider is riding on his fucking horse, and they're like side by side. It's pretty corny.
Yeah, playing
There's no
that.
point to it either.
Yeah,
It's not like they were both
like,
going together to be,
Yeah.
Actually, no, that was number.
That's one.
That was number 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, there was no point in that. He just rode by him.
Yeah.
I got one last ride. I mean, I'd be like, well,
Well, I like
this?
how your fucking
Take
horse
your
is
truck,
like keeping up with
save
my
that last ride and then help me beat this guy.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
just waste it?
I got one
Yeah.
last ride.
I
I
got-
got fucking wasted.
I've got exactly 15 minutes left to beat the Ghost Rider. And instead of helping you, I'm just gonna ride over there.
Yeah, and
That's pretty
and
bad.
the fucking some of the shit they said.
Blackheart
like,
was a
just
terrible
kinda
villain.
funny.
It didn't do it. They did shit with the villains. They were crap. What do you got?
I have and this is kind of funny because I actually have Ghost Rider number 4 on my list. But Ghost Rider 1 was so bad, I refuse to see Ghost Rider 2.
You're not missing nothing. I promise you.
It's one of those things. Is like, why? Like, if slamming your dick in the door fucking hurts the first time, why would you fucking do it a second time?
Yeah, that's very good. All right, what do you got?
Number 4, I got the Eric Banner Hulk.
Oh, nice.
Just because
it's
again,
very bad.
it was a terrible movie.
Here's my number 4.
That
Spider-Man 3.
good.
Yeah,
That's terrible. Well, not good. Terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Terrible movie.
Tobey Maguire was a shitty Venom. I enjoyed Tobey Maguire. That 70s show,
Spider-Man,
great.
yeah.
It's laughs. I like it. Sandman, I thought the effects were kind of crap. The change in the story, oh no, he pumped a gun and it shot Uncle Ben. That shit was all dumb.
Whatever.
The emo Spider-Man crap, it was just, fuck it. It was bad. It was
Gwen
So-
Stacy being there
yeah,
after.
so bad.
Tobey Maguire wasn't Venom. He was Spider-Man.
With the
Yeah,
black
did I say
symbiote.
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant what's his name from
Yeah.
That 70s show.
That 70s
was-
show. The hell is it? The kid's name?
Yeah, I
Plays
don't know.
Foreman.
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace.
Grace.
Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah. So Tobey Maguire sucked as Spider-Man in that movie too, though. So whatever, they all sucked.
Yeah, emo
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
like when
just
he was
slit
like
his wrist
fucking with
halfway
emo
through.
and like
Yeah.
put his hair over. Like,
I was like, if I'd have been on set, I'd have flat out told him like, no, somebody change my script right now. I'll walk out of this bitch.
Like, make me pissed off. Don't turn me into fucking
Yeah.
emo fucking...
Exactly.
Who is it? Jared Leto.
He's in the.
I know. It looked like they just like took a picture of him and like held it up. Like I'll just do my hair like
Ah,
that.
shit, yeah.
I'll put a little thing on.
He's gonna be-
Okay.
he's gonna be Joker, isn't he?
Yeah. What's your?
And I think he's
Suicide Squad?
great for that. Sorry.
What's your number 3?
Number 3, Spider-Man 3.
Nice. Hey,
Hey, Spider-Man 3, he sucked.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
it's funny. Y'all all ran Ghost Rider on that one. I've got Ghost Rider as my number 3. Yeah, Ghost Rider number 1 and 2 are both like
Yeah.
just fucking down there.
Well,
They're
I
terrible.
would say that the reason Spider-Man 3 is my number 3 instead of Ghost Rider is because, like, I like Spider-Man 1 and I like Spider-Man 2, and then when 3 come around, it's like I was really ready to fucking see this movie.
Yeah.
Especially when Venom was supposed to be a part of, like, oh
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
shit is about
a lot
to...
of people were.
And then when Tobey Maguire is fucking acting emo and dancing because he's got the Venom suit on, That's not what Venom suit does to you.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it makes you angry.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't turn you into a pompous fucking retard. So, yeah, it was like, and
at least you're giving them a little more benefit too, because Ghost Rider just came out the gate sucking, where at least Spider-Man had some success.
And Topher Grace, like, it's fine that they made him Venom. That's fine, because Venom is not the person; it's the
symbiote.
Symbiote. So, like, to me, I was like, fine, they can do CG for that. That's what they would have to do. There's no fucking actor that looks like Venom.
Right.
And I mean, my whole problem with it is the way they made Tobey Maguire reacting to the Venom.
I agree.
And it was fucking retarded.
Very bad.
Yeah.
All right, Brant, what do you got?
I got Daredevil number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm the only one that doesn't even have it in my top 10.
They made a Daredevil number 3?
No, Daredevil.
No, it is number 3
as
spot.
number
I was about to say, who the fuck told us that shit?
Some straight to video crap. All right. So moving along to number 2, I have.
Number 3.
He had
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 as well. At number 2, I've got Elektra.
Same here.
Same
here.
Same.
Didn't put it because I never saw it. It just looked that bad.
I saw
It's
5
not
minutes
worth
of it,
watching.
and I'm like, no.
So bad.
Yeah. I wound up seeing a little bit of it.
I think I had to ask people, oh yeah, how was it? They're like, terrible.
Yeah, it's so, yeah.
Don't even waste the space on your computer to torrent it. Like, just don't.
That's one of those things where
Not that I would ever do that.
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
I would never do that, but
that's one of those things
But
where,
if you did, they told you don't.
exactly.
So that's good.
If I was that type of guy.
like I watched Daredevil and slammed my dick in the door when I watched Daredevil.
What's up with you slamming your dick in the door all the time, man?
That's something that...
You know they got the thing where the girls like stomp on your balls and shit. He's just into the kinky weird shit.
So I watched Daredevil,
Yeah.
and it's like pretty much it's like slamming your dick in the door.
Yeah.
And so, like, I started watching Elektra. I'm like, well, maybe I'll slam my nuts in the door.
Trying a little different technique. Yeah.
My number 2, I had Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's
Just because it was full of one-liners and it was just horrible.
Yeah.
Again, I like
so
my
bad.
Batman dark. I like him, and George Clooney was not Batman in that movie. He was a guy who wore a Batman suit.
Alicia Silverstone
But he
was
was-
shit in that
What was
movie.
he was terrible.
Bane was garbage.
They were like too wide for the fucking mask.
Well, the Batman butt cheek thing and shit. Like,
Yeah.
what was the deal? They had to show every character's ass or whatever. I mean, God, it was shit. So much shit.
It
in
was
fact,
horrible.
That it's my number 1.
Oh,
Batman and Robin is my number 1 for
Really?
shittiest comic book movie.
I
Yes.
can't blame you for putting up 2 and number 1 at all.
Yeah,
It was horrible.
I just can't do it. I cannot do it. It's bad.
My number 1 relates to my number 10. And it is fucking Ben Affleck playing Daredevil. Because that's the same kind of fucking shit you're going to see when you see Batman versus Superman.
Well, we'll see. We
Little
give him a-
beady-eyed fucker trying to be Batman.
He is bad about Ben Affleck so much you think he like stole something from him.
Yeah, it's
like,
he like beat you up in the 3rd grade or something.
He wish he could fucking beat me up. If he was fucking Batman, he could beat me up. But he's not.
So what do you have for number 1?
My number 1, this was really tough. It was kind of a toss-up between a movie that has already been mentioned and another movie that hasn't been mentioned, which is one of Giotto's nostalgic favorites, Masters of the Universe.
You can't put that. You know,
No, I'm picking that movie wasn't bad at all, man.
Oh, yeah, you
I'm
like
just trolling on Giotto.
Fucking
Spider-Man 3 is
skill-
my least favorite, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but come on, you can CGI Hulk, but you can't CGI Venom. Dude, GTFO, ROFL, rage quit, / Alt F4 your life. Alt F4 your life, director.
Alright, what's your number 1?
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Just the absolute worst. Okay, explain to me why Nicolas Cage can run his fucking mouth the whole goddamn movie, but as soon as he turns into the Ghost Rider, all he can point is be like, so.
Yeah.
It's like this. Oh. Like, this is horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
It was.
Dude,
Nicolas
you know
Cage did a very bad job in
His
that.
finish
I
used
love
to
him, but
think I liked Nicolas Cage. I used to. Face Off, amazing movie. But
Yeah,
then I kind of realized He's the exact same.
Yep.
Like, if you want to talk about a typecast character,
he's
got
not
one
have
role to
range.
play,
Yeah.
and it's that deranged kind of wide-eyed.
The shit
Yeah.
where he goes to Vegas to kill himself drinking. He's a fucking nut job and everything.
You know where they got the whole movie wrong? Ghost Rider's ultimate weapon is his penance stare, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the Nicolas Cage meme where he's like,
Yeah.
and with the face they put under people's mouths so they
Yeah.
can't. That should have been the penance stare. That's what they got wrong.
Shit.
Like, who could survive the Nicolas Cage meme looking you dead in the eyes? It just kills your soul.
Yeah, it does that, indeed. All right. So, guys, we were running way, way over time here, but we're going to get down.
A little bonus.
Yeah, a little bonus. We appreciate y'all joining, sticking around for this long. If you want, it'd be cool. I'd like to see everybody's top 10 list for what y'all think for the worst comic book movies. Keep it going. Let's keep it compared, and that ought to be fun. I'd like to see where everybody else feels on that. Maybe what we got wrong here. All right.
Shoot, or who else has an intelligent mind and can differentiate the background?
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all stopping by. It was Gietto.
Don Bronson?
Nicolas Cage? Black Rose.
And Revezza.
All right, we'll catch y'all later. Thanks.
Ghost Rider for president.
Ghost Rider for president. Nick Cage for president.
Finish him.